the Zelem revolves around the number 30. And the real secret of it is that it leaves 30 days before the death. And another thing that revolves around the number 30 is the Nazir and oath. So there's a relationship between the Zelem and the oath of being a Nazir. And this relates to Yud Hey, Yeh Kodesh. The only gematria that's a halakha. And this 30 is the letter Lamed. And the letter Lamed is the only letter in Hebrew that goes above the line. See? There's no other letter that goes above the line. There are letters that go below the line in the final letters. But in the regular letters, there's no letter that goes above the line except the Lamed. And that's because this 30 represents the Zelem. And the Zelem is above the line. It's above. It's your astral body. You see? It's your Zelan Elohim. And it's like an egg. Anyway, so this Zelem with a Lamed, this relates very much to the ligature of Aleph Lamed in El, because each side of the face is two L's. But the real secret of the Aleph of the 30 is that it's Yud Hey, and this 15 really represents the Yad. Remember that the Yad have 14 perics, which is Yud Dalet, but there's a center of the Yad in the Langau point. And for me, that's where the energy comes out of, you see. And so that is the 15th point. There are 14 perics in the fingers, but in the palm itself, there's an energy point. And that makes the 15, and that's Yud Hey. And when you put it in the other hand, in the left hand, and the right hand, it's Yud Hey. And down here in the physical plane, that's the left hand. And so when that left hand also becomes Yud Hey, rather than Vav Hey, you see, when you have a 15 consciousness down here to make a 30 consciousness, and that's why I say like the 15th of Av is a transformation point, you see. And in the 30-day period, there's the 1 to 15, the full moon, and to the end of the moon. And then there's Lamed. Remember that the Lamed is comprised of a Zion, which is that 7 of mine that we were talking about, the law of 7, the Zion, and then under it a Resh. That Resh signifies head, Rosh, and that there's a Zion above it. There's kind of like 7 Sephirot above the head. Not Sephirot, but chakras kind of. There's a Zion above. Because I really think there's an 8th chakra. That 8th chakra makes up the octave. The whole secret of the octave is the 8th. And that 8th is Judaism with the bris. The whole idea of 8 being the infinite level. And in this Lamed of Zion and Resh, that's Raz. And Nazir. Remember, the Nun doesn't really count. So it's Zir in the spelling of Nazir, Nun, Zion, Resh. And that makes That makes it a Lamed. Lamed is Zion, and Resh, that's 207, then that's Or. And that's Ein Sof. And that's why the ligature of an eye it's brought down much more in Arabic, and in the the Islamic writings. But quite frankly, it's Zion and Resh. Aleph, that's the man inside. Aleph is the man in 3 dimensions. And then there's Zion, above, above as the 8th. So man is the law of 3, so to speak. Well, no. Let me go on. Aleph Lamed is El, and Lamed Aleph is Lo. Where do you find Lo? You find that in those 10 Commandments. Lo. It's a flip of the ligature and a ligature of El. Aleph Lamed. And that's the tie-in together. And you see it in the ligature for Elohim. They put the Aleph and the Lamed together sometimes. And so this 30, which to me is the Zelem. So the Nazir is really living in the Zelem. See? It's a Zelem. It surrounds him. It's his astral body. And the Nazir down here is the physicalization of the astral body. These are some of the things that are appearing to me now.